Hey guys, what's up? Today we are going to be doing a simulation of the 2020 presidential election. Sites like 538 do, as you can see, 40,000 simulations. We're going to be doing just one of them and kind of get an idea of what these odds mean. So they're giving Biden a 78% chance of winning the presidential election. Kind of famously, they give Hillary a 70% chance and Trump a 30% chance. It's often misconstrued in the public mind that if someone has a 70% chance of winning, that they're going to win. Like that's decent odds. You might bet on that, but you do have a 30% chance of losing. So what we're going to do is do a little run through of that simulation. We're going to look at the 270 to win, and here is a current consensus map of what they consider to be the state of the presidential race. We're going to make this a little bit different, a little simpler. Just go down to two colors. I'm going to make the states that I think are safe Biden blue, and the states that I think are safe Trump red. Other ones will be the kind of gray tannish color. So I think Michigan is a safe Biden state. You've been pulling very well there. Pennsylvania as well. That one will be a toss-up. Virginia is now moved to a blue state. Georgia, Florida, Texas are all toss-ups. Arizona is a toss-up. And Nevada as well. I give New Hampshire to Biden. And we'll make Ohio a toss-up as well. Indiana is a red state. Iowa is going to get closer recently. We'll make that a toss-up. And let's just clear out this map. All right. So here is kind of where I see the state of the race at the moment. Just to start off, a few states kind of have a proportional distribution of their electoral college votes. Maine and Nebraska, both of these states will give one to the opposite party. So you get a rural electoral vote in Maine and a very urban electoral vote in Nebraska. But here we are. We got Trump with 126 electoral college votes baseline and Biden with 243. So he's in a very good position here. If he wins any of these large states, Pennsylvania, Florida, Texas, which should be a big dream for the Democrats. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with the smaller electoral college votes and move up towards the bigger ones. To start off, we're going to go with Nevada. So let's go to Nevada, and we will run a simulation here. So they actually think Nevada has a 82% chance of being a Biden win. What we're going to do is simulate chances out of 100, and if Biden gets a score of 82, or if a random number is 82 or lower, then we'll count that as a Biden win. A score of 82 or higher will be a Trump, or 83 or higher will be a Trump win. All right, so let's simulate this. 5, very clear win for Joe Biden. We'll keep that to a blue state. All right, so next we'll go to Iowa. Trump's polling a little bit better there than Joe Biden is. They give him a 62% chance of winning over Joe Biden. So again, a number of 62 or lower we'll give to Trump, and if it's above that, we'll give it to Joe Biden. You can see here the polls have gotten closer in these states recently. Lots of Trump wins here, but it's very close. Trump, a lot of +2, +3s, even +1s. And then the recent A+ rated poll of Joe Biden up 3 this past week. And there was another even poll as well. So it's going to be a very close race, it looks like. They are still giving this much better odds to Trump, 2 out of 3. But let's run this one as well. All right, so that one would be a Trump state. Here we have Trump doing well in the greater Midwest here. All right, so let's look at our map and find the next state. So Wisconsin would be our next one. It has 10 electoral college votes. This is a state that famously Trump won by just a few thousand votes in 2016. A state that Hillary Clinton kind of counted on to win, didn't visit here during her campaign, and famously lost. So let's run a simulation of that. Let's see what odds they give Wisconsin. So they think Biden has a very good chance of winning Wisconsin. You can see the odds have gotten kind of close at a few points in the race, but it's kind of expanded the margin since then. A lot of good polls between 4 and 10 points for Biden. Hillary Clinton lost by about less than 1%. In 2016, polls had her up about 3, so the point swing was about 3%. Even in a lot of these simulations, if the polls were off by 3 points, Biden should still win the state. So 82 or below, and we will give this to the Joe Biden column. So 54, this is a Joe Biden win. He holds on to the upper Midwest, even though he lost Iowa. Next up, we have Arizona. Arizona is a state that Biden was doing really well in for a lot of the summer, looking better and better, but he's had a couple not so great results in the past week or two. You can see it got kind of close in mid-August, kind of separated out, but then it's gotten a little closer again. They still give Biden a 64% chance of winning. Let's run this one. All right, so they give this one to Trump, actually. So we will put that in the Trump column. Biden still needs 11 electoral college votes, so he can win any of these remaining states and win. Trump still needs a lot of these. Texas would probably be a good pickup for him. Florida, Ohio. He really needs to win all of these, all the remaining states to stay in the game. Our next one would be North Carolina. North Carolina, a state that Obama won in 2008. I can't recall if he won it in 2012 or not. But it's a state that has kind of flipped back and forth a few times in the last few years. And that'd be a big pickup for Joe Biden. So 55% chance Biden, 45 Trump. It's kind of flipped back and forth a few times. They give Biden a little bit higher odds just due to some recent good polls for Biden in the state. Of note, voting has started in North Carolina, so that could be a factor in the race as well. Again, 55 or lower, and it's a Biden state. All right, so they give this one to Trump. So Trump is doing well in the South. It looks like he's won Arizona, he's won North Carolina. Let's see how he does in Georgia, Florida, and Texas. Next up, we have Georgia. So Georgia is a state that was pretty close in the 2016 election. Hillary Clinton still did lose that one. Right, they think Trump has a 63% chance of winning here and Joe Biden 37%. So let's run this simulation as well. All right, so this would actually be a narrow Joe Biden victory over 63. So despite doing a little poorly in North Carolina, Joe Biden does pick up Georgia, probably give it to the suburbs of Atlanta, and just a large turnout of minorities in the Atlanta area. If Georgia does flip blue, I think that's a very good chance that Florida will flip blue as well. In this scenario, Joe Biden has won the presidency. He can lose Ohio, he can lose Pennsylvania, and he can lose Texas. Just that pickup of Georgia really does it for him. He doesn't need to win Arizona. He doesn't need to win Ohio. Doesn't need to win Pennsylvania. Just needs to win Georgia or North Carolina. He'd win it there too. Let's just flip that for a second. See our numbers. Still 274 Biden. Looks like Joe Biden has lots of paths to victory. This is all assuming that the polling is accurate. Like we mentioned, national polling was pretty good in 2016, even better in 2018. But there's a chance that there's a systematic mispolling, and maybe we're underpolling Trump voters, the famous shy Trump voters. So we'll do another simulation where we give Trump a couple extra points in each of these states, a couple, maybe like 5 percentage points better in each state, just to see what Trump overperforming would look like on election night. That'll be in the next video, and you should find a link to that once I post that video. All right, so let's go up to the next state, Ohio. Again, at this point, Biden has won the night and the presidency, but let's see how much he can run up the score. So they give that 52% Biden, 48% Trump. This has flipped back and forth a few times. Just recently, the past couple weeks, Biden has pulled into the lead with some pretty good polling, especially from Fox News, which I'm sure the president does not like to see. So if it's 52 or greater, we'll give that to Biden. All right, so this stays as a close Trump win. Doing okay in the Rust Belt, it looks like. If Ohio stays red, I would say Pennsylvania could still go blue, but I think it's less likely. 1820, let's go to Pennsylvania. This is a state that in many simulations, if the Sun Belt, states like Georgia and North Carolina don't go red or don't go blue, Pennsylvania would be a very important state for Joe Biden to hold. Many consider it to be the most important state in this 2020 election. We'll look in a minute at the tipping point states, the state most likely to get each candidate over the hump of 270 electoral votes. You can see here that Joe Biden is doing very well in Pennsylvania. Got a lot of polling, up 4, 7, 6 points. Looking pretty good for Joe Biden here. So if it is 77 or lower, we will give that state to Joe Biden. All right, so Joe Biden does pick up here. Perhaps the Philly and Pittsburgh suburbs and inner cities pull out big for Joe Biden. So he's got 295, decent run. So let's just see where Florida and Texas leave us for the night. They currently think Biden has a 58% chance of winning Florida. Democrats famously coming so close in 2000 and 2018 to winning either the presidential vote or governorship. Florida is kind of the white whale for Democrats. If you can win Florida, then you have the presidential election in the bag. But it kind of likes to hold them out on it a little bit. You can see it's gotten close a few times, but polling just shows Biden up just a couple points in Florida recently. So they said 58% chance. Let's run this simulation. All right, so they give that one to Joe Biden, or to Trump as well. Now, I don't really see a situation where Florida stays red and Georgia flips to blue. Seems unlikely to me. Maybe Trump has a better night than expected with the Latino vote in Miami. And maybe the inner city or the suburbs of Atlanta really go hard for Joe Biden. That could be a situation where we see Georgia go blue and Florida stay red. Seems unlikely to me, though. All right, so our last state is Texas. Now, interestingly, 538 does not have Texas in their states to watch. They have it in all states, but it is closer than a lot of states they do have in states to watch. So, kind of interesting choice. Here they give Joe Biden a 30% chance of winning. Kind of been a little bit out of reach for Joe Biden this whole time. Anywhere from 5 to 3 to even in one poll. But if I were to guess, I'd say it's just out of reach for Joe Biden in this election cycle. Maybe in the next 8 years, it could be a blue state. Republicans don't want to hear that or see that, but demographics are changing in the state. All right, so if it's 70 or lower, President Trump will win Texas. All right, so they give this one to Joe Biden as well. Very interesting case where Arizona stays red and Texas flips blue. I don't see that happening, but this would be a big, big night for Joe Biden. 333 electoral college votes. That's almost 30 more than Trump won in 2016. Give Biden some decent bragging rights, and would be a big night for Democrats. If this was the situation, I think Democrats would probably flip the Senate as well. It's looking very good for them in the House of Representatives. They should hold on to that. So in this situation, we may see all three houses of government in all three wings of government in the Democratic camp. All right, thanks for watching, guys. I'll be doing another video where I link the different states that are adjacent, kind of dependent variables instead of independent. And we'll be back soon. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.